Hey Pisces, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well. Apologies for the delay on this series of readings. This is the full moon in Sagittarius readings I'm doing. The full moon was on the 23rd. However, the energy of that full moon is still strong 3 days even after the actual full moon. So this energy is still really potent all the way through tomorrow. And so what I ended up doing is, because I was really sick with bad sinuses, I couldn't do readings for like a couple of weeks. So what I ended up doing was when I started to feel a little bit better enough to start doing this series, I was like, Spirit, I'm going to have you tell me what signs need to be read and when they need to be read. So now is the time to read you while we are still in the thick of the energy of the full moon. So this full moon is also known as the flower moon. So this symbolizes growth, discovery, and pursuit of truth. For you, now keep in mind energies can be reversed, but I will tell you, I do believe the way I'm going to read these cards to you, it's based on your perception. But again, it could very well be reversed. It could be the other person who's, emotional and in pursuit of you. All right. So take it as it resonates, but I do believe I am actually reading from your point of view. So the two tokens that came out for you, one was the Pisces symbol. That's you. It landed in the blessing section of the moon and a little bit on physical well-being. The other one was the hourglass. The hourglass. So that landed in the solutions section. So the Pisces symbol for the token represents I believe. And so you believe that, physically, you do believe that there is a blessing that can come through for a situation that you feel time is of the essence for a solution. Okay, so it's like you're against time right now is the feeling that I'm getting here. So let's get into the clarifications. So when I clarified the Pisces token for the I believe, we ended up getting fired up, let me cover this up just a smidge. Well, right there. Lust. And ghost. All right, so you are super emotional right now. You are definitely in Pisces energy, even if it's not like one of your main signs. You're definitely emotional with, overwhelming emotions, almost like you can't process what you're feeling. And so it's regarding somebody that you had a lustful connection with. There was no commitment. It was strictly sexual energy, kind of like that forbidden fruit to you. To you, it was probably, at one point, it was like booty call, right? It was just somebody you were knocking boots with. But you haven't had any contact with this person, okay? So it's the connection between you two, even though it was just lustful and maybe possibly just a booty call, the connection started to kind of go cold, go a little distance, and, you two kind of like drifted away a little bit. And so when I clarified what was actually happening with why somebody was feeling overwhelmed with emotions, at this point, I didn't understand if it was you or if somebody felt this way about you. When I clarified the fired up, we ended up with the unconditional, and with the lust, we got, the emotions, the waves of the water. So, Pisces, you're Nemo, you swim in, the ocean 24/7. With the ghost, we ended up getting recalling, returning, reminiscing, memories. So this tells me that I'm talking to a Pisces that is all in their emotions now, where before they probably were not in their emotions because it was just kind of lustful. So it was more of, sensual feeling. It wasn't necessarily, I love you feeling. Well, now that there's been some distance with this person, all of a sudden you're having these emotions come over you where you're like, oh my God, wow. Why do I feel like I genuinely have true feelings for this person? I love this person. I'm certain of this. Where before there was it was just booty calls. There wasn't really any feeling in there that you thought was in there. Now you're sure that you have emotions and you want to return, you want to come back with this person, and you want to be able to talk to them and get more out of this than what it was. So I really wanted to know, who's this person that's fired up? Because like I said, energies can be reversed. And so that's usually how I read. I leave it up to the viewers to decide on where parties fit in the situation. So when I clarified, we ended up with the Nine of Wands on the side. Okay, I get it. Overwhelmed, right? There it is again. It's confirming that somebody is extremely overwhelmed. And it's almost like you're preparing yourself for the worst case scenario, because here it's like you want to come back to this person. And so when I clarified further, I'm like, okay, I get it. This person's really overwhelmed. Their emotions are up and down. They don't even know how to process what they're feeling right now. Who is this person? We got the High Priestess. That's your power card, Pisces. So I feel this is you, okay? You can totally say it's the other person if you want. Maybe both of you have Pisces in your chart. I don't know, but I do believe I'm reading for the Pisces, and this is how you're feeling. Your subconscious and intuition is telling you, with the Ten of Cups, this person would be your ultimate happiness, and you want to come in quickly, right? Because here's the hourglass. Time is of the essence for a solution to come back to this person. So you got the Eight of Wands and the Seven of Wands. So you're like, I need to move quickly because I need to protect what's mine. You're like, this person's mine. Like, I know they're mine, right? Okay, yeah, it was a booty call. There was no real commitment. Yeah, it was sexual energy. Sure, yeah. Okay, but I now know that that's not all this person is. I genuinely love them. I genuinely love them. I have feelings. I would like to make movement, come in quickly, and, fight and protect what I feel is mine. Okay? The reason you feel time is of the essence here is because when I clarified the ghost, we ended up with the Three of Wands and the Page of Cups. So you feel like this person, because there hasn't been any contact, it's kind of gone cold. It was a booty call. So you spoke when you were going to hook up, and that's it. You two would kind of go your own separate ways. But time's gone by, and there hasn't been any calls. This person's not calling you for the booty call. They're not saying, hey, what's up? You want to hook up tonight? You want to, what are you doing tonight? Let's, go do our thing. You haven't heard this. So now you think, oh, wow, this person's planning and they're preparing to move forward to start, having real emotional connection with somebody else. Like they must be talking to somebody else, and they must be, texting with somebody new that they've met. They're probably going on dates. And so that's, your subconscious telling you, hey, something's, up with this person. You haven't heard from them. So which means they've probably found somebody, and that bothers you. That's why your emotions are all up and down, because you didn't think that was going to happen. And you thought that you could just kind of carry on, with having your hookups. You kind of thought that that's how it was just going to continue to be. You didn't think this person was legitimately probably looking to be with somebody in a real loving connection, other than just hooking up. So you were very wiffle waffle with this person, because there was a lot of confusion in the connection, because it's not like you two really had any real genuine conversations other than sex. You didn't think anything of it. You didn't think they thought anything of it. And so you just kind of went back and forth, and you probably had other options, and you were probably, kind of doing your thing and just kind of going back and forth whenever, you two would talk. Well, here's the thing. You're worried that if you were to just unexpectedly show up at this person's house, right? Just kind of show up on them. You're afraid that with the Revenge card and the Five of Cups, you're afraid that you're going to get the door slammed in your face, and that you're going to see that this person is now with somebody else. And then you're going to have to move on and take a loss, because you two didn't have any kind of real conversations to talk about what you both were actually looking for. I think you just both assumed that you two were just looking for sex. And that's what, was happening between you two. So now you're like, well, what will happen? Is this person, is it going to be am I going to be punished? Am I going to see that this person doesn't want to be with me, and they've moved on with somebody else, and they're actually dating somebody? And now I've not only lost this person that, I was hooking up with, I lost somebody I realized that I really wanted to be with. And oh, shame on me, we didn't have any real conversations about it. So, we assumed, right? And we know what happens when we all assume. It makes an ass out of both me and you, right? Makes an ass out of the situation. So again, you're like, has this person lost passion for me? Will they have lost passion? Do they have too much self-respect with the Queen of Wands in the reverse over top of the family card? If I try to show up at this person's home, is that what's going to happen? Do they have too much self-respect? Have they lost their passion? And because the Queen of Wands, when she's in the upright, she sprinkles love, passion in the situation, and there's flair. And that's kind of probably what was happening when you two were hooking up. But now you're like, oh my God, if I show up, am I going to see this person's got too much self-respect to even deal with me? Are they going to slam the door in my face? Are they not going to want to possibly have a romance with me? What am I walking into? So since you didn't know, I asked. So I'm like, what's going on here? I mean, not that I would get the full story. And I still didn't get like 100% if this person moved on. But I did ask. I was like, so, all right, tell us. Is the person that Pisces is interested in, have they moved on? Are they with somebody else? So the cards that came out, we received Judgment, King of Cups, and the Hanged Man. So this is telling me that the person you're interested in made a judgment call that I want a loyal, loving, harmonious, devoted, emotionally mature connection. So I'm letting go of this. It didn't say they had found it. It's just saying they made the judgment call that it was time that they let this, booty call thing go with you. Because here's the thing. If this person doesn't stop connecting with you, then they're not going to be able to find somebody else. You have to break the energetic cords with somebody, especially if you're being intimate, right? If you're intimate, you're constantly tangled up with that person. You're tangled up with their energy. And so when you're tangled up with other people's energy, especially sexually, it's hard for you to move on to find something that you really want, which is a loyal, devoted, emotionally mature connection. That's not what this was. This connection was a booty call because neither one of you spoke about what it is you want. This person didn't tell you that that's what they wanted. And maybe at the time they weren't sure. Maybe they didn't. And then they suddenly had an epiphany where they were like, I'm kind of done with the booty call. I want to spoon with somebody. I want to have the booty call and then I want to spoon with somebody. And then I want to wake up the next morning and then I want us to make breakfast together. And then, maybe go for a walk or, I don't know, go to the river or the beach, wherever, whatever you want to do. Maybe, this person was like, yeah, the sex is great, but I want the extension to that. I want to have more time. I want to spoon. Like I said, I want to make up. I want to make breakfast, and then I want us to go out and do something. And then, at Sunday evening, if that person needs to go home, then they go home and they, we both have our separate work weeks. And then when the weekend comes again, we'll do it again, right? Instead of it being that hookup and then separating, this person wants more. They want the hookup, but then they want the extension to it. They want more. They want more time, effort, and energy. They made the judgment call. So it didn't say they had actually found anybody. It just said they had let go. So this person might be still in an energy of trying to release this energy so they can be available to find what it is that they're looking for. Now, because I dug into them, I wanted to find out about you. Oh yes, don't think I was just going to dig about them. I'm getting into your shit too. So I was like, so tell me, why is Pisces so sure that they are genuinely certain that they have emotions for this person and they would like to return back into their life and make more of it? Like, so how did Pisces suddenly know this? We ended up with the Three of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Nine of Cups. So this tells me that you confided in somebody. I don't know if you saw a spiritual person, or if you have a really good friend, or if you saw a therapist to kind of like work through your feelings. Excuse me, I have a cough drop. If you saw a therapist to work through your emotions, to understand, am I in love with this person? Like, because I don't know. Or you were just, getting tarot readings on this person. And what happened? Whoever you were talking to, heck, for all I know, I mean, I could be talking to somebody who even like paid somebody to spy on that person to kind of like see what was going on. Maybe they paid somebody to pretend to be somebody else who hit them up on social media to see if they would take the bait, right? It could be any of those scenarios. But whoever it was that you spoke to, okay, that helped you, you ended up getting the truth, okay? With the Sun card, that is, it's truth. I believe you got positive feedback that the person that you're interested in, that you feel is more than a booty call, you actually feel that they are your wish fulfillment. They are a high-minded person. They're not just a booty call, right? Because it's clear, because that's what they wanted, right? Because when I asked, they made the judgment call that they wanted something long-term, loyal, and devoted. They didn't want just a booty call, even though that's what was happening. So you got the truth about who this person was. They weren't just, a floozy out sleeping with this one and that one and this one and that one. It was probably just you. But then they realized that this wasn't going anywhere. It's not, like I said, it's not like you two were having those conversations. So then they made the judgment call. Well, if we're not having these conversations and they only talk to me or see me when I reach out to say, hey, I'm feeling a little frisky, they probably figured, okay, well, that's all this person wants. And at the time, I think maybe that's what you thought. So I think I'm talking to two people, excuse me, who at the time, thought that that's what they both wanted, was just a booty call. And then somewhere along the line, as time went on, things started to change. So it's almost like two friends ended up starting to get feelings for each other, but you two weren't talking about it. So it just kind of fizzled out. And that's when, the booty calls became less and less. So that's what's happening here. So the only way you're going to know is if you actually show up and find out if this person's willing to be with you. That's, that's free will. That's something you're going to need to do. We can't tell you anything more, because even though it's not telling me this person hasn't moved on, okay, that's the second time that's happened during these series of readings where I didn't get a chance to shuffle and a card just kind of came rolling out. So This must be your card. That's what I'm taking it as. Believe in the impossible. Blue moon. Believe in the impossible, that if you were to show up to this person and let them know you would like to take it a little further. You want to take them out on a date, or, whatever, that beginning stage of an actual relationship. So I would show up, not just for the booty call. I would show up and say, hey, I'd like to take you out. So take this person out. Then you can have a booty call. Then you can spoon. Then you can wake up and do breakfast and whatever, okay? But don't approach this person as the booty call. You need to approach this person and say, hey, I'd like to take you out. I'm going to take you out to lunch, dinner, take you out on a date, whatever you guys are into, whatever you want to do. But you need to believe in the impossible. The thing is, you have to approach it correctly. Because this might be your once in a blue moon shot. Because if you don't come in correctly, this person probably will end up, finding somebody that meets their criteria that they're looking for, that King of Cups. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. I hope that this helps calm somebody's emotions that are like all over the place and fired up because they're like, oh my God, I got to prepare for the worst. I'm going to show up and this person's going to slam the door in my face, or even worse, the new boyfriend's going to open the door, right? And then that's like, oh shoot, revenge on me. You know what I mean? So yeah, everybody has free will. I'm just here to give you the messages and show you the possibility, and clearly believe in the impossible came out. I can't make that shit up. You saw it roll out. I split the deck and it rolled out. So that's what I have for you. Believe in the impossible. So I hope that you take this step forward, and I hope to maybe read about 2 people who are actually dating and in love. That would be sweet. Much love and light. I'll talk to you soon.